The headache started 3 months ago. Sharp, stabbing pain behind my right eye that made the world blur and tilt. Then came the vision problems. The balance issues. The morning I vomited 3 times before breakfast. The CT scan showed a mass. The MRI confirmed it. A brain tumor the size of a golf ball pressing against my optic nerve and frontal lobe. Benign, thank God, but growing. Without surgery, I'd lose vision in my right eye, possibly develop seizures, maybe worse. Dr. James Mitchell, chief of neurosurgery at Riverside Medical Center, sat across from me showing the scans. We need to operate within the next 2 weeks. The tumor is in a delicate location, but I've done hundreds of these procedures. The sooner we remove it, the better your prognosis. I was 29 years old and I needed brain surgery. I called my parents from the hospital parking lot. Mom, they found a tumor. I need surgery. Can you come with me to the pre-op appointment next week? A tumor? What kind of tumor? A brain tumor. It's benign, but they need to remove it surgically. Oh, sweetheart, that sounds scary. But doctors always make things sound worse than they are. Are you sure you need surgery? Dr. Mitchell is one of the best neurosurgeons in the state. The surgery is June 14th. Pause. June 14th? Honey, that's the weekend we're finalizing plans for Sarah's wedding. You know your sister's getting married in August. We have so much to do. Sarah, my older sister. The golden child. The one whose engagement party I'd missed because I was in the ER with a migraine so severe I couldn't see straight. Mom, this is brain surgery. It's not optional. I'm not saying it's optional, but can't you schedule it for a different weekend? We have the venue walkthrough, the cake tasting, the florist appointment. I have a brain tumor. And we'll deal with it. But Sarah's only getting married once. Surely the surgery can wait a few weeks. I hung up before she could continue. My father called that night. Your mother told me about the surgery. I want you to understand our position. We're not saying your health isn't important. We're saying you're asking us to choose between your surgery and your sister's wedding planning. That's not fair to Sarah. I'm asking you to be there when I have brain surgery. Sarah's wedding has been planned for 8 months. You've known about these headaches for 3 months. If it was really that serious, you would have gone to the doctor sooner. Stop complaining about minor issues. Your mother and I will visit after the surgery if we have time, but we can't guarantee anything. He hung up. I called Sarah next. Hey, I was just about to call you, she said brightly. We found the perfect wedding cake. 4 tiers with real flowers cascading down the side. Sarah, I'm having brain surgery on June 14th. Silence. Brain surgery? For what? I have a tumor. They need to remove it. Can't you schedule it for a different day? That's the weekend we're doing all our final wedding prep. Mom and Dad are supposed to help me with the seating chart. It's brain surgery, Sarah. I understand that, but my wedding is in August. You've had headaches for what, a few weeks? Can't it wait? This is supposed to be my time, and now everything is going to be about you and your medical drama. Medical drama. My brain tumor was medical drama. I'm having the surgery whether you're there or not, I said quietly. Fine. But don't expect me to drop everything. I have a wedding to plan. She hung up. What my family didn't know, what I'd kept quiet for 3 years, was my actual job title. They knew I worked at Riverside Medical Center in hospital administration. They had no idea I was Dr. Alexandra Hayes, Chief Operating Officer of Riverside Medical Center. That I oversaw all clinical operations for a 400-bed hospital. That my signature approved or denied medical staff privileges, including my father's and sister's. My father, Dr. Robert Hayes, was a cardiologist with privileges at Riverside. My sister, Dr. Sarah Hayes, had just completed her residency and was applying for attending physician privileges, an application currently in my queue awaiting approval. They'd never bothered to ask about my specific role, too wrapped up in their own careers to notice mine. On June 13th, I went to the hospital for final pre-op labs. Dr. Mitchell found me in the pre-surgical area. Alex, how are you feeling? Terrified. That's normal. You're going to do great. He paused. I noticed you don't have anyone listed as your surgery support person. Is someone coming tomorrow? No. My family is busy with wedding planning. His expression darkened. Your family knows you're having a craniotomy tomorrow? They know. They just don't care. Given your position at this hospital, Are there any staff members I should be aware of in terms of family relationships? My father is Dr. Robert Hayes, cardiology. My sister is Dr. Sarah Hayes. She's applying for attending privileges in internal medicine. Robert Hayes is your father? And they're not coming to your surgery? They're busy planning Sarah's wedding. Dr. Mitchell's jaw tightened. I see. Well, Alex, you won't be alone. My entire surgical team will be there. Surgery was scheduled for 7 a.m. I arrived at 5:30, checked in and waited in pre-op. At 6:45 they wheeled me toward the OR. As we passed through the surgical wing, I saw staff members lining the hallway. Nurses, technicians, administrators. People I worked with every day. "We've got you, Chief," one nurse called out. My eyes filled with tears. My family wasn't there. But my work family was. The last thing I remembered was Dr. Mitchell's voice. "We're going to take excellent care of you, Alex." The surgery took 9 hours. Longer than expected because the tumor had wrapped around more neural tissue than the imaging showed. But Dr. Mitchell got it all. I woke up in the ICU at 8 p.m., groggy and disoriented. "Welcome back, Chief," a nurse said. "You had a lot of visitors in the waiting room today." I did. About 30 staff members cycled through during your surgery. Dr. Mitchell had to ask people to go home because the waiting room was too crowded. 30 colleagues had spent their day off in a waiting room. My family had been at a cake tasting. At 9 p.m. Dr. Mitchell came in, still in scrubs. "How's my star patient?" "Alive." "Did you get all of it?" "Every bit. Clean margins, no complications." "You're going to be fine, Alex." He sat down. "I need to tell you something. Around 3 p.m. your father called the OR demanding to speak to me. He said the surgery was taking too long, that it shouldn't take more than a few hours for a simple tumor removal. He suggested I was either incompetent or padding the procedure for billing." My stomach dropped. He said that to the surgical coordinator. Then at 5 p.m. your sister called the ICU. She told the nurse she couldn't visit because she had wedding errands, but she wanted to make sure the procedure went well because she didn't want family drama at her wedding. Dr. Mitchell. At 6 p.m. your father called again. He told the charge nurse he had important matters to discuss with you regarding hospital privileges and family expectations. When told you were in recovery, he said, "Tell her to stop being dramatic and call me when she's done with her medical theatrics." Medical theatrics. I just had 9 hours of brain surgery. Those calls were recorded as part of hospital protocol. They've been flagged and forwarded to the CEO and the medical board. What does that mean? It means your father accused a surgeon of incompetence and fraud. Your sister implied your brain surgery was an inconvenience. The medical board is reviewing whether physicians with those attitudes should hold privileges at this hospital. The next morning I had visitors. The CEO, the chief medical officer, and the chairman of the medical board. "Alex, we won't keep you long," the CEO said. "The medical board met this morning in emergency session. We reviewed the recorded calls from your father and sister during your surgery. And Dr. Robert Hayes has been suspended from clinical privileges pending a full ethics review. His accusation of surgical incompetence against Dr. Mitchell, made without medical basis during an active surgery, constitutes a serious breach of professional conduct." "You suspended my father?" "The medical board suspended him. His behavior was unacceptable." The CMO spoke up. "Dr. Sarah Hayes' application for attending privileges has been denied. Her comments about your surgery being drama that might inconvenience her wedding demonstrate a lack of empathy incompatible with patient care. They're going to blame me for this." "They can blame whoever they want," the CEO said firmly. "But the facts are clear. The medical board acted appropriately based on their behavior, not your relationship to them." 5 days later I was discharged. Dr. Mitchell walked me through post-op instructions and handed me a folder. "These are copies of the recorded calls from your surgery day. You may want them for your records." I took the folder home and finally listened to the recordings. My father's voice, angry. "This is taking too long. It's a simple tumor removal. Either Dr. Mitchell is incompetent or he's padding the procedure for billing." My sister's voice, irritated. "I can't visit tonight. I have wedding errands. Just make sure the procedure goes okay. I don't need family drama at my wedding." My father again. Tell Alexandra to stop being dramatic and call me when she's done with her medical theatrics. 2 weeks later my mother called. Alexandra, what have you done? Your father's been suspended. Sarah can't get privileges anywhere. Do you know what this is doing to our family reputation? I didn't do anything, Mom. They did this to themselves. You could fix this. You could make the board reverse their decision. The board made their decision based on Dad and Sarah's behavior during my surgery. They called my surgeon incompetent during my brain surgery. They called my tumor removal medical theatrics. They prioritized wedding planning over my survival. You're being dramatic. It was just poor timing. What exactly have you done for me? You didn't come to my surgery. You didn't visit me in the hospital. You called to complain that my brain tumor inconvenienced Sarah's wedding. Silence. We were busy. Too busy for my brain surgery. Got it. I hung up and blocked all their numbers. 6 months later I returned to work full-time. The tumor was gone. My vision had recovered. Dr. Mitchell declared me completely healed. My father's ethics review concluded with a formal reprimand and 6-month suspension. Sarah had to take a position at a small community hospital 2 hours away, the only place that would credential her after Riverside's denial. My family stopped speaking to me entirely. Sarah's wedding happened in August. I wasn't invited. I spent that weekend hiking with friends from the hospital, celebrating 6 months tumor-free. My family said it was just a headache. They planned a wedding during my brain surgery. They called my survival medical theatrics. The neurosurgeon called me chief. The medical board called them unfit. And I learned that the family you choose, the colleagues who line hallways before your surgery, who fill waiting rooms during your operation, matters more than the family you're born into. Some relationships don't survive honesty. Some families can't handle accountability. And some brain tumors, once removed, leave space for clarity. Mine did. I stood at the hospital board meeting 1 year later, presenting our new patient advocacy initiative. My scar had healed to a thin line hidden beneath my hair. The headaches were gone. The tumor was a memory documented only in medical records, and the clarity it had given me. This program addresses a critical gap in our system, I told the board. Family medical dismissal, when relatives minimize or mock a patient's serious condition, causes delayed treatment, psychological trauma, and in some cases, death. We're implementing mandatory training for all medical staff on recognizing and intervening when families demonstrate harmful dismissiveness toward patients. The board approved it unanimously. Dr. Mitchell caught me afterward in the hallway. That was inspired by your experience, wasn't it? Partially. But I've been reviewing patient complaints for the past year. There are dozens of cases where family members called serious conditions drama or attention-seeking. Patients who delayed life-saving treatment because their families told them they were exaggerating. Your father's case made an impact. The medical community is talking about it. Professional conduct during family medical crises is now part of ethics discussions at medical schools. Good. Maybe the next person with a brain tumor won't have to hear their family call it medical theatrics. That afternoon I received an unexpected letter. From Sarah. Handwritten, 6 pages long. Alex, I don't expect you to forgive me. I don't deserve forgiveness. But I need you to know that losing my position at Riverside was the best thing that ever happened to me. The community hospital where I work now serves low-income patients. Many of them come in with conditions they've been ignoring for months because their families told them they were being dramatic. Last week, I diagnosed a woman with stage 3 breast cancer. She'd felt the lump for 8 months, but her husband told her she was being a hypochondriac. When I sat with her during her diagnosis, I finally understood what I'd done to you. I told you that your brain tumor was an inconvenience to my wedding. I minimized your life-threatening condition because it conflicted with my cake tasting. I was the husband telling his wife she was being dramatic while cancer grew inside her. I can't undo what I said. I can't take back missing your surgery. But I can tell you that every patient I treat now gets the compassion I failed to give you. I'm learning slowly what it means to actually care about people beyond how they affect me. My wedding was beautiful, by the way. Perfect cake, perfect flowers. I looked at the photos last week and realized I can't remember most of it. But I remember the phone call where I told you your brain surgery was inconvenient. I'll remember that forever. I hope you're healing well. I hope the tumor never comes back. I hope someday you can think of me without anger. I don't deserve your forgiveness, but I'm trying to become someone who might. Sarah. I read the letter 3 times. It didn't undo the abandonment. It didn't erase the pain of facing brain surgery alone. But it was something. An acknowledgement. A crack in the wall of family denial. I didn't respond to the letter. Not yet. Maybe someday. But I filed it away in my desk drawer, next to the discharge papers from my surgery and the commendation from the medical board for the patient advocacy program. My phone buzzed. A text from Dr. Mitchell. Dinner tonight? My treat. Celebrating your 1-year tumor-free anniversary. I smiled and typed back. Absolutely. Thank you for saving my life. Thank you for letting me. See you at 7. I looked out my office window at the hospital below. Somewhere in that building, a patient was being told by their family that their condition wasn't serious. That they were being dramatic. That a wedding or vacation or party was more important than their health. But now, thanks to the new protocols, a nurse or doctor would intervene. Would document the dismissal. Would ensure the patient got the care they needed regardless of family support. My brain tumor had nearly killed me. My family's abandonment had nearly broken me. But both had taught me something invaluable. That the people who should protect us sometimes can't. That institutions matter. That policies save lives when families fail. The neurosurgeon had called me chief. The medical board had suspended my family. And I had built a system to ensure no other patient faced what I had faced. Some families learn. Some never do. But systems, good systems built by people who understand suffering, those protect everyone. That was enough. That was everything.